Thank you guys. So we are feeding Cheeto, my bull snake, a chicken, or attempting to. There he is, his full length. Normally he eats quail, but I decided to mix it up and get him a chicken. I normally feed him quail, mice, but this is his largest prey yet. I think he should be able to get it down, but we'll see. For those who are wondering, it's a chicken hurt. It's not hurt or injured. It's just a little cold. I had to go really far to get it. So for those who know anything about baby birds, they have to be kept warm, or they go into kind of a shock, kind of a hypothermia. And that's what this one is, probably pretty cold. But this is the biggest prey item I've ever fed Cheeto. So I'm hoping he likes it. He does like quail. If you've seen it in my other videos, he eats quail pretty easily. But I wanted to step it up on the size bar. See, the bird's not hurt or anything. He's looking at this like, oh my God. So for those, there we have it. He was just waiting for him to move. So for those who are wondering what Cheeto is, he is a red albino bull snake. Pretty morph. For me, I love bull snakes. They are a colubrid related to corn snakes. One of the biggest snakes in North America. And these guys are just fantastic snakes. Have a great appetite, great personality. Bull snakes, they have a really, really wide range. The awesome thing about these guys is that they actually mimic rattlesnakes. So a lot of people have come across bull snakes, and first of all, most bull snakes don't look like my bull snakes, especially the ones in the wild. They have a coloring, so their natural coloring is very close to rattlesnakes. And that's what they do. They mimic rattlesnakes. So what they will do, they will stand up, kind of hiss. They will rattle their tails in some leaves and act like they're big and bad, just like a rattlesnake. And they try to mimic rattlesnakes. You better not bite me either. Get back in your cage, buddy. So I have to be a little bit careful of him because he is now in feeding mode. And anything that moves when they're in this state is potential prey. Thank you, buddy. Get back in your cage. Thank you. I don't know if I can just do that. Close that up for him. But, so I've definitely fed him quail before. Like I stated before, quail, mice. But I've never tried a chicken. So for me, I don't get any pleasure by feeding my snake live animals. But of course, I have a snake and that's what they eat. And for me, I'm just really big on giving my animals variety. So, because in the wild, that's what they would do. Some people feed their snakes just strictly mice, and kudos to you. But for me, I'm just love variety. Any pet I have, they get a wide range of different prey items. So I feed my guy quail, chicken, now, mice, rats, gerbils, um, rabbit kits when I can find them. I just try to give them as close to prey as they would get in the wild. Like I tell anybody, it's the same thing. It's like if somebody fed you only rice for the rest of your life. But for me, I try to give them I try to give them a diet close to what they would get in the wild. So let's see if Cheeto, the red albino bull snake, can put down this chick. Or did I make an error and is this bird too big? But I have faith in Cheeto. Let's see if he'll prove me right. So he's never had a chicken before, so he probably doesn't know how to swallow it. Come on, Cheeto, find the head, buddy. It makes things easier when they can actually find the head. So bull snakes, they have a pretty fast metabolism. I like to feed my guy about once every 6 to 7 days, sometimes twice. These guys eat a lot more than ball pythons and for sure more than boas. Most colubrids in general just have a higher metabolism. But overall, having a bull snake is just they just make great pets. The only downside is that they do poo a lot. They poo quite a bit. So when he eats, he's definitely going to, I would like to say, paint my cage. So the cage I have him in is a 40-gallon terrarium. For me, I do prefer the sand substrate because the sand substrate acts like kitty litter. And whenever he does go number two, it sticks on it. I have a nice little pooper scooper. It filters out the sand sticks to it, and I'm able to get it right up. That's why I prefer the sand substrate. Bull snakes, they're one of the few snakes that the male actually gets bigger than the female. Because most snakes, there you go, he found the head. Good job, buddy. There we go. All right. So most snakes, the females usually get bigger. But bull snakes, the male actually gets bigger. That's why I always prefer the male. Gotta have that male energy going. And yeah, these guys are just an awesome snake. I first fell in love with him, with this morph anyway, when I first seen it. And that's how he got his name Cheeto. Because to me, he looks like Cheeto does. Everybody's had Cheetos. You know how you have that dust at the end of the bag. So he looks like to me. And so he got his name. Cheeto, the red albino bull snake. All right, buddy. For those who are wondering what the hell is that going off in my background, I have a fish tank over here with cichlids and stuff, so that's what you hear. My animal guy, I have a little bit of everything. I have fish, scorpions, tarantulas, centipedes, you name it, I have it. It's always been in animals. Snakes and tarantulas are definitely one of my favorite for sure. Let's see if we get a better view here. Go, Cheeto. All right. So for those who want to know how long bull snakes get, they get between 6 to 8 feet, but 6 feet is usually more the norm. 8 feet is a outlier, but they have been known to reach that length sometimes. I've had many people ask me, has I've ever been bitten by a snake? Out of all the snakes I've ever owned, I've only been bitten once, and that was actually recently by a boa constrictor. But it wasn't mine. It was a boa constrictor that I got that I was trying to sell. I basically bought out a reptile store, so I had a bunch of random snakes. So he wasn't used to being handled, and I misstepped, and he gave me a snake hiss, and that wasn't fun. But any snake that I've raised, I've never been bitten. And these guys don't really bite. These guys are mimics, like I said earlier. They try to bluff you and they try to scare you. So they act like a rattlesnake, but they rarely ever bite. So they hiss. They will do their fake imitation of a rattlesnake's rattle, but when it comes to biting, they rarely bite. And this guy, when I got him, he was already used to being handled, so it was really easy. Come on, Cheeto, you got this, buddy. Look at those patterns. Just imagine how good he's gonna look when he's 6 feet. Some people always mistake him, and when they first see him, they're like, "Oh, you have a corn snake." I'm like, "No, it's not a corn snake." No disrespect to corn snakes, but I just think, for me personally, bull snakes are better. They're bigger, longer, and they're just more of a unique snake. You see corn snakes at every pet store. Me, I'm more of a guy who likes snakes that are not as common. And that's what made me decide to get a bull snake. And I didn't want just any bull snake. I wanted a red albino. These guys, I want to say the red albino moths are kind of fairly new. They're starting to become more popular now, so I'm starting to see more of them. But a few years ago, I barely seen red albinos. So I basically became fascinated with the morph, and I had to get one. Let's go, Cheeto. And for those who wonder why I choose birds a little bit over rodents, like I said earlier, they're just easier for my snake to subdue. Rodents can, and they will, harm your snake if you're not careful. They have claws and teeth, and they can turn the tables on the snake. Even if the snake ends up killing it, they can actually still bite your snake if your snake grabs it wrong. I've seen it done. So birds, they kind of they don't have the same tools. Oh, look at. And there you guys have it. He is putting that bird away. So I think from here on out, instead of quail, I think I'm going to stick with chicks, just because they're a bigger prey. So with quail, I would have to get 4 or 5, and he put them away quite easily. But why buy 4 or 5 quail when you can just get 1 chick? And there you guys have it. Cheeto the bull snake. Hope you guys have a good night. And good day, guys. Say bye, Cheeto.